Hello dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will explain the last lesson by Alphonse Daudet. First of all, I will let you know background of this story. The last lesson by Alphonse Daudet is set during the Franco-Prussian War. Prussia defeated France and captured France's two districts named Lorraine and Alsace. The order came from Berlin to teach German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. Now let's see the last lesson in details. Franz is the speaker in the story and M. Hamel is a teacher. At the beginning of this story, we see Franz was going to school very late in the morning. He was frightened because M. Hamel would ask a question to class on participles. Franz did not study participles. He did not know anything about participles. For a moment he thought to bunk class and spend the day out of doors. At the outside of class, an atmosphere was so warm, so bright. The birds were chirping at the edge of woods, and in the open field back of the sawmill, the Persian soldiers were drilling. That all tempted to Franz than learning participles. Finally, he changed his thought and quickly left for school. When he passed the town hall, there was a crowd before the bulletin board. All bad news, including the lost battles, draft, and the order of commanding officer had been come at a bulletin board for last 2 years. There was a crowd before the bulletin board because the order came from Berlin to teach German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. So people gathered at the bulletin board. Without stopping at bulletin board, Franz was going to school hurriedly as fast as he could go. The blacksmith Watecher was there with his apprentice. Reading the bulletin, he said, "Franz, didn't go so fast, Bob. You will get to your school in plenty of time." Franz thought blacksmith was making fun of me and reached M. Hamel's little garden all out of breath. Usually, when school began, there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street. The opening and closing of desks, lesson repeated in unison, very loud with our hands over our ears to understand better, and teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. But on that day, all things were so still. Everything was as quiet as Sunday morning. There was not opening or closing of desks. Franz's classmates were already in their places. Students were not repeating their lesson loudly. There was not commotion of students. The teacher's great ruler was under M. Hamel's arm. So, Franz noticed the unusual about the school on that day. Frightened and ashamed, Franz opened the door and entered into the class. Unexpectedly, M. Hamel treated him nicely and did not scold him for being late. Franz saw that M. Hamel had worn a green coat, a frilly shirt, and his black silk cap. M. Hamel used to wear a green coat, a frilly shirt, and his black silk cap only on prize days and inspection days. On watching M. Hamel in new clothes, Franz got surprised. On the back benches of the class, Franz saw old Hauser, the former mayor, the former postmaster, and many other people all seated with a sad expression on their faces. M. Hamel sat in his chair and very seriously said, "My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only German in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive." Listening to this, Franz felt very bad. What a thunderclap these words were to Franz. His last French lesson. He hardly knew how to write. He should never learn any more. He must stop there. So he regretted, "Oh, sorry I was for not learning my lessons." People came at class to thank to M. Hamel for his 40 years of faithful service and showing their respect for country. That day was the last day for French lesson. From next day, Franz would not learn French language. He felt very bad for not learning French language seriously. Instead of learning French language, Franz spent time for seeking birds, eggs. Instead of learning French language, Franz spent time for seeking birds, eggs, or going sliding on the Saar. Books seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry. His grammar and history of the saints were old friends now that he couldn't give up. As the lessons were being recited, M. Hamel asked young Franz to recite the participle rules. Franz stumbled and was totally lost, which made him felt very bad. Instead of correcting Franz, the teacher told him the tragic truth. Every day we have said to ourselves, Every day we have said to ourselves, "Bah, I have plenty of time. I will learn tomorrow." And now you see where we have come out. Ah, that's a great trouble with Alsace. You can neither speak nor write your own language. Parents were not anxious enough to have you learn. They prepared to put you to work on farm or at the mills so as to have a little more money. Hamel blamed himself because he had often sent Franz to water his flowers instead of learning his lessons and had given the students a holiday when he had wanted to go fishing. Then M. Hamel told an importance of French language. French is the most beautiful, clear and logical language that we must guard it among us and never forget it, because when people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Then M. Hamel opened a grammar and read lesson. Franz was amazed to see how well he understood. Earlier he did not pay attention at what M. Hamel taught. Now he took interest in French language learning. He thought all to be taught. He understood what M. Hamel taught at that time. After that, M. Hamel started lesson in writing. That day M. Hamel had new copies for them in a beautiful round hand. There was extremely silent an atmosphere. No one dared to speak before Emmanuel. On the roof of the pigeons would very low, and Franz thought, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? After the writing, they had a lesson in history, and then the baby chanted their ba, baby, bo, bow. All at once, the church clock struck 12, then the Angelus. At the same moment, the trumpets of the Persians returning from drill sounded under window. Emmanuel stood up very pale in his chair. My friends, said he, I, but something choked him. He could not go on. Then he turned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote as large as he might, Villa France. This is all about the last lesson. I hope you would understand. If liked this video, share among your friends. Do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will have a notification of my newly uploaded video. Thank you very much for watching this video.